Hi, this is Dave, Fellering Guide. Welcome to this week's navigation task. We've got a couple of photos on this task. I want you to work out where each of those was taken. It's one run, two photos from different parts of the run. And the map that we're using today is the Harvey's Superwalker 1 to 25,000 scale map of Snowdonia. And I've got a licensing agreement with Harvey's to allow me to use their maps on these navigation tasks. So somewhere on there is where we did our run. So the first photograph is here, where we can see the runners looking up, contemplating their route ahead. And we've got a very obvious rocky ridge rising from left up to right as we look. So where could that be on the map? Well, the only real steep rocky ridges are here on the eastern flank of Mole Shabod. And in the photograph, the ground rose from left to right as we were looking at it. Well, there's the high point on Shabod, and so this ridge is going downhill and this ridge here is going downhill. So we couldn't be looking up at this ridge because the ground would be rising right to left as we looked, and it rises left to right. So it makes sense that we're in here somewhere looking up at this ridge, the ground rising to the right. So let's have a look. So that Llyn is just behind the photographer, and the summit of Mole Shabod is up to the right, up here, out of photograph. So taken in about there. So that's a reasonably easy one to pinpoint because there weren't many other places it could have been. What about the second photo? It might be a bit more difficult to get the exact position on this one. So what can we see? Well, we're on high ground heading downhill off the summit, and we've got these distinctive lakes here, or lake. We've actually got a spit of land sticking out in the middle here, just obscured slightly by this runner. So let's have a look. So that has to be this. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, apologies. And that's that spit of land sticking out. So we're above that, running downhill. That could be anywhere on here, really. Let's have a look, a little bit more detail. Now I think the key is here. We've got this long ridge running away, and we've got high ground to our right, and we can see this little area here of very rocky ground just sticking out there. So on Harvey maps, the rocky ground is grey shading. So it could be that we've come off Mole Shabod and we're running down a ridge. So we've got a ridge coming down here. We've got a ridge coming down here with a path on it. But here we've got this grey shading, which is rocky ground. And where the contour lines go grey, that indicates predominantly rocky ground. So could we be possibly on somewhere coming down here? Going back to the photograph. So straight down here to the end of the lake, we can see we've got buildings in here and here. This ridge here that we're heading along actually doesn't lead down to that lake. You can see it's going much further off to the right. So we're not heading down here because we haven't got any rocky ground on our right. We're not heading down to the end of the lake, we're heading more in this direction. So again, that indicates we may be heading along here. So that little bit of rocky ground sticking out is just that little bit there, and the ridge continuing here. We're also quite a lot higher than this tree-lined area here. So you see the trees way down below us in there. So that indicates we're much nearer the summit than further down here. So our answers are photograph 1 taken here just about to ascend the Derdu ridge up to the summit of Mol Shabod, and then the second photo just coming down. We haven't taken the path down to Plazibrennen. We've continued northeastwards along the ridge with the high rocky ground just off to our right. We were actually heading down back into here. So those were your answers this week. Easy first photo, possibly a bit trickier the second one, but hope you found it interesting, got it right, learned something. Thanks for watching. Look out for next week's navigation task. Bye for now.